You ever walk into a burger joint or stare down the endless fast food menu and suddenly feel like you're in a high stakes game show you didn't sign up for? Patty melts, smash burgers, towering triple stack monstrosities. Prices that make you wonder if the fries should come with a trust fund. And the worst part? One wrong choice can turn Friday treat night into, why did I spend my grocery money on this regret in a wrapper? But not today. Today, we're cutting through the grease, the gimmicks, and the glossy photos that make you think every burger is your soulmate. We're ranking the most common burgers from absolute wallet waster to the ultimate king of the grill. We'll talk taste, texture, how they really cook up, and whether they're worth your hard earned money. Plus, fair warning, there will be a few unpopular opinions in here. So buckle in, grab a napkin, and let's talk burgers. Kicking things off at number 14, we've got the frozen bulk burger, the kind that comes in a plastic sleeve from the back of the freezer aisle. Picture this. You're at a family barbecue, everyone's hyped, and then Uncle Bob pulls out a bag of frozen mystery patties. No seasoning, no love, straight from the freezer to the flames. You take a bite, and suddenly you're chewing on what could double as sports equipment. The problem? These patties are made from the lowest grade beef scraps, compressed into discs that look like burgers, but have the juiciness of a desert cactus. No marbling means no flavor, and because they're so thin, they go from still raw in the middle to drier than grandma's turkey in 30 seconds flat. Sure, they're cheap, sometimes less than $1 a patty, but cheap doesn't mean value. You're paying in jaw strength and lost enjoyment. Can you make them edible? Only if you doctor them up like a science experiment. Season before they hit the grill, pile on caramelized onions, melt on cheese, maybe even sneak in some bacon fat. But let's be real, like if you have to rescue your burger from itself, it's already in the wrong category. Your turn, Manakun, have you ever been betrayed by a bargain burger? At number 13, we've got the fast food value menu double. The I'm starving and I've got $3 option. You know the one. 2 thin patties, a slice of processed cheese that never really melts, and lettuce so limp it looks like it's already given up on life. The problem isn't just size, it's that these burgers are built for speed, not satisfaction. Fast food chains churn them out so quickly they rarely see proper seasoning or searing. You end up with steam-cooked beef and a flavor profile that's basically salt, ketchup, and nostalgia for better meals. Price-wise? Hard to beat. But here's the trap. They rarely fill you up. You either buy 2 and spend more, or leave still hungry and hunting for snacks an hour later. Hack it if you must, order it plain, and add your own toppings at home. But honestly, save that $3 for something that won't have you regretting your choices before you even toss the wrapper. Pop quiz, and what's the cheapest burger you've ever bought, and did it actually taste good? Coming in at number 12 is the pub burger that somehow forgot it's supposed to be about the meat. Walk into a nice-looking pub, order their signature house burger, and what arrives is a carb tower. Thick, chewy bun, pile of lettuce, slice of tomato that could moonlight as a coaster. Somewhere in there, a lonely 4-ounce patty gasping for attention. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for good bread. But when the bun is bigger than the burger, every bite is just bread. Worse yet, pub burgers often aim for artisanal, with toppings like aioli, goat cheese, or onion jam. But forget the foundation, the meat. These can cost $12 to $16 easily, but if the patty isn't seasoned, seared, and juicy, all the fancy toppings in the world won't save it. You're basically eating a salad between 2 loaves of bread. If you must order one, here's a pro move. Ask them to double the patty. Yes, you'll pay a little extra, but suddenly the meat-to-bun ratio works in your favor. So tell me, have you ever had a burger where the bun stole the spotlight from the beef? Landing at number 11 is the burger that exists solely for likes, the Instagram trap. This is the one with rainbow buns, fried mac and cheese instead of bread, or stacked so high you need dental insurance just to attempt a bite. They're designed for photos, not for eating. The problem? They're usually overloaded with toppings that fight each other for attention, and the actual patty is an afterthought. Dry, underseasoned, and buried under a landslide of look-at-me ingredients. Price tag? Astronomical. These stunt burgers can hit $20 plus easily, and for what? Half the time, you can't even taste the beef. And let's be honest, no one actually enjoys eating something that collapses in your hands like a bad Jenga tower. If you're curious, sure, try one once for the story. But if you're here for actual flavor and satisfaction, skip the social media trap and find a place that respects the beef. Confession time. Have you ever ordered food just because it looked good on Instagram? Sneaking into the top 10 is the turkey burger, the I'm being healthy option that often turns into I'm being sad. Done right, they can be flavorful, lean, and juicy. Done wrong, they're dry, bland, and have the texture of damp cardboard. The reason is simple. Turkey is naturally low in fat, and fat is flavor. Without careful cooking, turkey burgers lose moisture fast, turning every bite into a sip of your drink just to get it down. Good turkey burgers require work. Mix in chopped onions or peppers, add seasoning beyond just salt and pepper, maybe even a little olive oil to keep things moist. Grill them gently. High heat will kill them faster than you can say pass the ketchup. Price-wise, they're usually on par with beef, so if you're picking them for health, at least make sure they deliver taste too. Otherwise, you're just sacrificing joy for no real gain. Question for you. Would you ever pick a turkey burger over a beef burger if flavor was the only deciding factor? At number 9, we have the veggie burger that somehow forgot the veggie part. You know the type. It's marketed as a plant-based flavor bomb, but when you bite into it, it tastes like compressed sawdust with a hint of sadness. These often rely on filler grains, breadcrumbs, and unidentifiable vegetable bits that look more like confetti than food. The problem isn't that veggie burgers can't be amazing. It's that bad ones try to imitate beef instead of celebrating vegetables. When done right, a veggie burger can burst with roasted peppers, caramelized onions, black beans, fresh herbs, and spices. When done wrong, it's just a beige patty that leaves you staring longingly at your friend's cheeseburger. Price-wise, these are all over the map, from cheap freezer packs to $15 gourmet versions at restaurants. If you're going to spend real money, make sure it's one that embraces flavor instead of pretending to be something it's not. Pro tip: build it like its own hero. Skip the fake grill marks and instead load it with sauces, greens, and roasted toppings that make sense for the patty's flavor. Your move. What's the single best veggie burger you've ever had, and where did you find it? Coming in at number 8 is the Patty Melt, the glorious half-burger, half-grilled cheese hybrid. When it's done right. When it's done wrong, you're left with a greasy bread sponge and a patty that tastes like it's been trapped inside for too long. The best patty melts use rye bread toasted to golden perfection, a juicy patty seared until it sings, and onions caramelized low and slow until they're sweet and sticky. The worst ones use limp bread, unmelted cheese, and onions that are more raw than roasted. Price-wise, patty melts usually hover in the $10 to $14 range. Worth it when the execution is solid. But here's the kicker. A bad patty melt leaves you craving either a real burger or a real grilled cheese, but not satisfied with the in-between. If you want to master one at home, here's the trick. Butter both sides of the bread, cook the onions until you'd eat them with a spoon, and smash the patty a little thinner so it marries with the cheese instead of floating between the slices like an awkward blind date. Tell me, are you team patty melt purist, or do you think burgers and grilled cheese should stay in their own lanes? Landing at number 7 is the smash burger, a cult favorite when done right, a disappointment when the technique fails. The magic of a smash burger is in the crust. Pressing that ball of beef onto a ripping hot griddle so every bit of the surface caramelizes into pure flavor. The problem: many places get the heat wrong, press too late, or worse, smash after flipping, squeezing out all the juice. Done right, a smash burger is crispy at the edges, juicy at the center, and layered with melty cheese that hugs every crevice. Done wrong, it's thin, dry, and overcooked before you've even unwrapped it. Smash burgers aren't usually cheap anymore. Thanks to their trendy status, even the small ones can cost $8 to $12. But when you get one with that perfect salty crust and a soft bun to soak it up, worth every penny. Pro tip for home cooks: smash within the first 30 seconds of hitting the pan and never press after the flip. That's the golden rule. So, Are you in the smash burger forever camp, or do you think they're overrated? At number 6, we've got the barbecue burger, a summer staple that too often sabotages itself. The idea is genius. Smoky sauce, maybe some grilled onions, maybe even crispy onion rings on top. But the flaw? Too much sauce turns the bun into a soggy mess before you're halfway through. The best barbecue burgers strike a balance. Enough sauce to add that tangy sweet kick, but not so much that it hides the flavor of the beef. The beef should still be the star, with the sauce playing a supporting role. Bonus points if the patty has some char to match the smoky profile. Price-wise, barbecue burgers tend to run $12 to $16 at restaurants. At home, they're easy. Just remember to toast the bun well, so it can handle the sauce, and apply it sparingly so you don't end up wearing your lunch. And here's a thought. Not all barbecue burgers need beef. A smoky pulled pork patty with a slice of cheddar can be a mind-blowing twist that keeps the barbecue vibe alive. Question: when it comes to barbecue burgers, are you light sauce for balance or flood it and pass me a napkin? Cracking into the top 5 is the blue cheeseburger, the love it or hate it heavyweight of the burger world. Blue cheese brings a tangy, salty punch that can elevate a burger into something bold and unforgettable. But it can also bulldoze everything else on the plate if it's not balanced. The best versions crumble just enough cheese to mingle with the beef's richness, sometimes paired with caramelized onions or even a little fig jam to balance the intensity. The worst versions? They slap on a thick slab of blue cheese and call it a day, leaving you tasting nothing but dairy thunder for the rest of the meal. These tend to be mid to high-priced burgers, $13 to $18. And they're not for everyone. But when you get that perfect bite where beef, cheese, and toppings harmonize, pure bliss for blue cheese fans. Pro tip: if you're unsure, order it with the cheese on the side. That way you can build each bite and control the intensity. Your turn. Is blue cheese on a burger genius or a culinary crime? At number 4, we've got the breakfast burger, the glorious, rule-breaking meal that says, yes, you can have a fried egg on your burger and eat it before noon. Done right, it's a perfect fusion. A juicy beef patty topped with crispy bacon, melted cheese, maybe a hash brown, and that runny fried egg acting as a golden sauce. One bite and you get the smoky saltiness of bacon, the richness of beef, the gooey yolk. It's like brunch and lunch shook hands and decided to change your life. But here's the risk. Breakfast burgers can turn into sloppy disasters if the egg is overcooked or, worse, undercooked in a way that leaves you with a cold center. And if the bun isn't sturdy enough to handle the egg yolk and sauces, you'll be wearing your breakfast before you finish it. Price-wise, they tend to be in the $14 to $18 range at restaurants. They feel indulgent, like a cheat day treat. At home, the secret is timing. Cook the bacon and egg just before assembling so everything stays hot and crisp. And yes, I'm going to say it. Breakfast burgers aren't just for morning people. Midnight breakfast burger after a night out? Unmatched. So tell me, would you rather start your day or end your night with one of these? Taking the bronze medal at number 3 is the Mushroom Swiss, the cozy sweater weather burger of the bunch. It's rich, earthy, and feels like something you'd get in a warm, dimly lit diner on a rainy day. The magic is in the mushrooms. Sautéed low and slow in butter, maybe with a splash of white wine or garlic, they add an umami depth that pairs beautifully with Swiss cheese's nutty, slightly sweet profile. When the beef is seasoned well and the bun is soft but toasted, it's a bite that hits you with comfort first, flavor second, and then keeps going. But here's where it can go wrong, where undercooked mushrooms that feel rubbery or a cheese layer so thin it's basically decorative. Worse, some places use canned mushrooms, which bring more water than flavor and turn the bun soggy. Price-wise, these usually land in the $12 to $16 zone. It's not flashy, but it's dependable, like that one friend who always shows up when you need them. For the home version, use cremini or shiitake mushrooms for more depth, and don't be afraid to pile them on. You're not here for moderation. What's your take? Is Mushroom Swiss an elite burger, or is it just fine to you? Coming in at number 2 is the classic bacon cheeseburger, the undisputed crowd pleaser that has been showing up on menus for decades and still sells out. It's a simple formula. Salty, smoky bacon meets rich, juicy beef, bound together by melted cheese. But don't let the simplicity fool you, and getting it right is an art. The bacon has to be crispy but not brittle, thick enough to bite through but not so thick it pulls the whole strip out on the first bite. The cheese? Fully melted so it coats the bacon and beef in one smooth layer. Where it goes wrong is laziness. Limp bacon that tastes like it's been sitting under a heat lamp? Or cheese that's halfway melted, leaving cold spots. And if the bacon's grease isn't balanced with fresh toppings or a sturdy bun, you're in for a slippery mess. Price-wise, bacon cheeseburgers run from $10 at diners to $18 at fancy spots, and they rarely feel overpriced because they deliver exactly what's promised. At home, cook the bacon in the oven for even crisping and layer it between the patty and cheese so everything fuses together. Here's the question. When it comes to burgers, could anything really replace the bacon cheeseburger for you? And finally, at number 1, the crown jewel, the double cheeseburger. Simple, perfect, eternal. It's not about shock value or over-the-top toppings. It's about balance. 2 thinner patties seared to perfection mean you get more crispy edges and more surface area for that golden brown Maillard magic. Between them, cheese that melts into a creamy layer, fusing the patties together into one glorious, meaty masterpiece. The bun should be soft but slightly toasted, just enough to hold everything without fighting it. Add a couple of classic toppings, pickles for tang, lettuce for crunch, maybe a swipe of special sauce. And every bite hits the same satisfying chord. It's predictable in the best way. Why does it win? Because it gives you the best of both worlds. The flavor of a smash burger with the substance of a full-sized burger. It's indulgent without being ridiculous, and it works everywhere, not from a roadside diner to a 5-star steakhouse. Price-wise, it ranges from $8 at a hole-in-the-wall to $16+ at upscale spots, and it almost never disappoints. At home, the secret is to season generously, sear hot, and stack quickly so the cheese bonds everything together. So here's my final challenge. Next time you're tempted by a triple stack monstrosity, order a perfectly made double instead, and see if it doesn't ruin you for everything else. And there you have it. From freezer aisle flops to the double cheeseburger throne, we've taken a full lap around burger world. But here's the truth. The best burger isn't just about rankings. It's about your mood, your budget, and your cravings in that moment. Sometimes you want a perfectly balanced masterpiece. Sometimes you just need a guilty pleasure drive-thru fix at 1 a.m. What I really want to know now is, where do you stand? Did my number 1 match yours, or are you ready to fight me in the comments over a mushroom Swiss or blue cheeseburger? Drop your personal top 3 down below. I'm genuinely curious, and I'm betting this list will start some friendly debates. And hey, if you made it all the way through this ranking, you're clearly as burger-obsessed as we are. So stick around. We've got more deep dives, taste tests, and maybe even a few crazy burger experiments coming your way. Hit that like button if you had fun on this journey, and if you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next adventure. Until then, keep your grill hot, your cheese melty, and your napkins close. Now go out there and get the burger you really deserve. And remember, the truth is not always on the menu.